Good morning, everyone. It's your girl Kashia, and I'm back with another video. I know it's been a minute. Y'all don't chew me up in these comments. I have been gone for long, but I'm back with the jump ball. But anyway, so yes, I'm coming back on here looking a little not together, but it's okay because I'm starting. It's the new year, and I feel like I do this all the time. Like, I'll just come back and be like, oh, it's the new year, and I'm gonna be so consistent. Y'all, the last time y'all heard from me, I was in nursing school, and it was my last semester, and it was chaotic. So I was not able to like vlog how I wanted to. Everything was just overwhelming. I needed a mental health break, so that's what I did. I took a mental health break, and I just literally had to get through school. Like, it was that intense. Like, I was stressed out. Like, I was afraid of not passing my last semester in nursing school, and I would have been devastated. So I had to like lock in, y'all. I had to really lock in. So, but I'm back now, and I graduated nursing school, and I have so much to update y'all about. Like, so much. Like, everybody has been asking me, are you going to continue to do YouTube, blah blah. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, then you know what's been going on in life, honey. But I'm here to give y'all an update here on YouTube. First of all, I want to thank all my subscribers because I reached over 1K subscribers, and I'm just super excited about that. I don't even know exactly the number I'm at now, but let me tell y'all, 1,290 subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Every last one of y'all. So yeah, this video is basically just like an update. I'm gonna do a vlog today. Y'all gonna come along with me. I have a busy day right now. I'm about to be eating my waffles because your girl is starving. But yeah, so yeah, this is about to be a little like vlog, update, life story, all of that in one. So much to tell y'all. So much has happened. Y'all won't even believe it. But right now I'm about to finish my breakfast. I really wanted to make a smoothie, but my throat, y'all. Okay, so I was at my sister's house yesterday, and she has a dog, like a little puppy, and me and animals just all up in here. The allergies, yesterday my nose, like, I was so stopped up. It was like freaking post nasal drip, eyes watering. It was ridiculous, and my throat was so sore. So right now I have like now that I woke up, it's a little better, but last night, like, I felt it in my sleep. Like, it was so painful. So now it's a little better. But I am about to drink some tea. I was gonna make a smoothie, but I might save that for later. And I'm about to make tea and soothe this throat of mine because it don't feel good. But yeah, I can't wait to get into this. to update y'all. Okay, y'all, so it is much later in the day. Y'all, so this is part of my like little update. I'm on my way to the bank right now. So I figure I would just talk to y'all while I'm driving. I got my little camera set up. It's like kind of low, but this is just how we're about to have to set up. So yeah, so earlier after I was done talking to y'all, I literally, okay, I guess I should start here. So your girl is having a baby. I am having a baby, okay? I'm having a whole human grow inside of me, y'all. I wonder if I could just hold it like this. Like, this is much better. So I'm having a whole human. I feel like I look super stuffy, but it is cold, okay, honey? It just, the temperature just dropped. It was warm all week and now it's cold. But yeah, so I literally am growing a human inside of me. I am currently 29 weeks pregnant. I'm about to be actually 30 weeks pregnant in a few days, which is nuts. It's freaking nuts. Very much unexpected. Right after I graduated nursing school, well, a few months after I graduated nursing school, your girl is preggers. So yeah, that's that. So I just want, like, my update is I literally just had like a freaking little, I have like these little episodes, I guess you could say, where I get super dizzy, like super lightheaded. It just kind of like comes out of nowhere and I get just like, I'm literally about to pass out. So it happened to me while I was at work twice, and then once when I first found out I was pregnant, and then once recently, like a few weeks ago, and then it just happened to me while I was in my kitchen. So I haven't really, I know I'm horrible, I didn't tell my doctor about it because I'm just like, oh, like, you know, dizziness is normal in pregnancy, blah blah blah, but like I legit be about to hit the ground, girl. So I like usually catch myself before I actually like black out, and I'll like sit down and take deep breaths. So I don't know if it's like a blood pressure issue, but I also just failed my glucose test, the first, like the 1 hour test. So I have to retake it again, do like a 2 hour, or I don't know if they want me to do the 3 hour one. But yeah, so I don't know if it's my sugar, I don't know if it's my blood pressure, but every time I check my blood pressure, it's fine. So something is making your girl, but I also feel like I overdo it too sometimes. Like I'm always like trying to clean, like deep clean the whole house. Like my boyfriend definitely like is the main one now who like cooks and like cleans, because I be tired. So but when I do try to like do things, it's like I'm overexerting myself. So that's that. Yes, I'm pregnant, and I had a little episode. So I was eating, after I was talking to you guys, I ate something, and then I was like making my tea, and then out of nowhere it just like I got super lightheaded and dizzy, and like everything just kind of almost like basically blacked out, I guess you could say. So I took a nap. I took like a 2 hour nap. So my camera just bugged out. I don't know what that was about, but I was saying I was home by myself, and then my mom came over. She brought me the blood pressure machine, and she had to run somewhere, and then she like I was taking a nap, and then she came over to like basically take a nap too and just make sure I was okay. My boyfriend is at work. He keeps calling me, checking on me, my best friend. But yeah, so that's a little update for y'all. I am preggers, and my face is giving preggers. I don't know, I feel like it is. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's starting. I feel like it just started to give pregnant. So yeah, but I'm on my way to the bank right now, and then I wanted to go grocery shopping. I had so much I wanted to do today, but like I have a headache now, like a really bad headache after that. Like when I woke up, I just had a headache. So I'm probably not gonna go grocery shopping. Like my boyfriend's like, no, you can wait until I get off tomorrow, because he gets like, he's not, no, I think he's off tomorrow, I don't know, but yeah, he was like, wait for me. So I'm gonna have to wait for him, and then we can go grocery shopping. And then I wanted to get the house together and stuff, but I'm gonna just chill, I guess. I gotta order our food, but But all right, I'm gonna talk to y'all because I got so much to update y'all about. That was like one of the little updates. I'll show y'all like my little bump. I have so much going on. I'm like planning a baby shower, figuring things out with work, which I have to update y'all on. And yeah, so we trying to get this show on the road. But this vlog, like honestly, it took me forever to like just be like, you know what, it don't gotta be perfect, I'ma just do it. Because I'm always like, oh, it gotta be a perfect background and everything has to be perfect. No, if you're starting a YouTube channel, just do it. It ain't gotta be perfect. I honestly personally love the like authentic, the real like deal type of vlogs. Like I love, like for instance, I watch McKenna Walker, and her vlogs are just like perfectly imperfect, I guess you could say. Like she just records, like, you know what I mean? And I love that. Like she just goes with the flow. Like she definitely is like, it doesn't give all over the place though. Like she gives like organized, but also just like, this is real deal. Like, you know, like this is real deal. And if stuff happens, she just doesn't like, she doesn't even have like a bunch of edits. She doesn't edit it out. She just records, and I love that. So not gonna lie, that motivated me to be like, you know what, just do it, girl.
Olympics, is this for pickup or delivery?
For pickup.
Okay, and your name?
Keshia, K-E-S-H-I-A.
Alright, what can I get for you?
Can I have a half of tuna with salt, pepper, oregano, and provolone cheese, and lettuce and onions?
Okay.
And then can I also have the crushed wet peppers on it and on the side? Extra on the side, please.
Okay.
And mayo. I'm sorry, I don't know if I said mayo. And that's all. This was for dinner tonight, a tuna sub, because like I just said, cooking is not what I'm going to do tonight, and my boyfriend's at work until late, so we just gonna order a takeout. All right, y'all, so I'm finally back in the house, and I got my sub and some chips and stuff from the market, and then I'm about to just wash up these few dishes in the sink. I brought some fruit, so I'm about to like cut them down and like, you know, wash them, cut them down and everything, and then sit and update y'all. I'm so excited. This vlog was very like simple, but that's just my life lately, been a little hectic, so it's kind of hard to get like everything, but it's fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna just sit and like update y'all. I'm about to wash these few dishes, do my fruit, probably take a couple bites of my sub because I'm hungry and I don't need another episode. I'm gonna put some tea on, but I'm gonna make some iced tea to put in a picture. So I'm gonna brew the tea and then put it in a picture and put it in the fridge, and then yeah, I'm gonna sit and update y'all. I'm excited.
Your cries, they can be heard from far and wide. It's only the two of us. Everything I need between those thighs. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all I need. Every time I get a bit inside, I feel it.
In my apartment for the week so that I can have a more productive week. And I
just to get thankful that I had days full of you, before it winds down into the memories. It's all just memories now.
Don't you love when I come around? Somebody just fill you up, then I take you down. Don't you love when I come around? Somebody just fill you up, then I take.
Alright y'all, so I'm finally finished with my soaking my fruit, my strawberries. They were so good too. Like, I feel like when you soak them and clean them, like I soaked them with a little bit of vinegar and some baking soda and some water, a lot of water, and just let them soak for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I like rinse it all off very well because you don't want to be tasting like vinegar. But like I feel like they're so nice and fresh and like really good when you like soak them and like clean them that way. So yeah, I like to cut mine up because I feel like they last longer that way. I don't know, but it seems like to me the fruit lasts longer when you like chop them up. Obviously not like grapes or like blueberries or something like that, but strawberries for sure. Like I like to chop them up. Also bananas, I like to chop them up and freeze them. But yeah, so our bananas are still very ripe. I just wanted to give y'all an update. I wanted to sit down and actually talk to y'all and just tell y'all what's going on. So first and foremost, like I told y'all, I graduated nursing school. Last semester was very stressful. A lot of people did not make it through the last semester, which is very sad. Y'all, like it was hectic. Like clinicals was intense. It was basically, we had 2 12-hour clinicals, so basically we worked for free. I mean, it paid off because like obviously we needed clinical hours, but like we worked for free. And my last semester clinicals were honestly better than my previous semesters because it was more like you were an individual nurse, you know what I mean? Like you're not following your instructors around and like waiting to give meds, like waiting for each of your classmates to give meds, because I just don't feel like that's realistic. So this was more like you are the nurse and like you're following one nurse and you do everything with that nurse. Like they teach you basically like almost like they're like your preceptor, like your orientation or something. So I liked it a lot better. Like I learned more. Like before it was just like a group of us following one nurse, and obviously of course my camera's about to die. A group of us following one nurse, and then obviously it was just too much. Like I feel like it was a lot on that nurse, and to like try to show us and do her job or his or her job, and like we just didn't learn anything. Like this last semester, like we were actually hanging IVs and like learning the pumps and things like that, so it was a lot better. But it was a lot as far as like working clinical and school. Like I feel like last semester was like crunch time, like grind time. Like it was just like I can't even explain it as far as like getting like the papers and midterms and like studying for finals and studying for the exams. Like it was crazy. So I could like go into more detail about that in another video if y'all want me to. Just let me know in the comments. But yeah, so that was last semester. I graduated, did my penning, all of that stuff, right? Let's fast forward a few months later. So okay, we were supposed to get, we had to do like a ATI like mandatory thing or whatever, where we like sat in I had to like basically review for the NCLEX or whatever. For me, it wasn't helpful at all. Like it just was like not helpful. It was virtual. We graduated already. I was burnt out. I wasn't really, it just wasn't helpful for me. I already have trouble, like I can't sit and just listen to people talk, like especially virtually. Like in class, yeah, that's fine because I'm writing notes and I'm like marking stuff down, but like online I'm just like falling asleep. Like it's just different to sit and stare at a computer. So that happened, and then after we completed that, the teachers were supposed to send our like letter to the board stating that we can sit for our test, like we completed the program. Well, they didn't do that for like another week, I believe, or week or two or something like that. So that pushed everyone back. Then it was a whole process trying to like get your ATT and like your authorization to test and everything for the NCLEX. So that was the whole process. That was like literally like probably a month long. And then a month after we already graduated. And then, oh, and then prior to me graduating, I did get hired as a trauma RN. It's a med-surg trauma unit. So it's like, it's step down trauma. It's not like ICU or ED. It's like when they come from ICU or when they come from the ED, and it's like head injury, car accident, like gunshot wound, stab, like things like that, but they are like pretty stable. They come to our unit. Like fractures, like anything broken bone, like they come to our unit. So anything spine, things like that. So it was very interesting. So we started orientation and everything. They made sure to kind of like pace us. We were still like studying and everything for the finals. So they gave us time to do that. That was nice. And it was kind of like a gradual intro to nursing, which is really nice. So they considered it a nurse resident position. And it's really nice. Like you actually like learn. It's a lot. It is a lot because you're still in school and you're still like, okay, I need to pass in order for me to like, it's like pressure. Like, dang, I got a job. Now I have to pass. Now I have to pass the NCLEX. Now I have to, like, you know what I mean? So it was pressure. But they did give you time to like study. It was me and a couple of other classmates who all got hired at like a local hospital, and we was hanging on by a thread. So we were stressed out. We would take that time and just study for our final. So that happened. I had a job already. I did go on a vacay because I was much needed. It was a very short vacay. It was so much needed just to like, it was a relaxing vacay. Like I didn't turn up, I didn't party, I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted to chill. Literally went to the beach, like, and like was in a hotel room, freaking like going to dinner and just like stuff like that. Like I wanted to relax. I want to talk about the like the nurse residency position. So it was like I don't know, I had a really nice preceptor. Like I had a really good preceptor from the beginning. Like honestly, I really can't complain about any of my preceptors. They were all like really like nice, and like they were, you know, willing to teach and things like that. And I've had like different kinds of preceptors. So some that will like rather just show you, and then some that will be like, all right, you do it, like I'll walk you through it. And I like that because I'm more of like a hands-on person. So of course my camera died. So I was talking about my preceptors, I believe. I don't even know, honestly. I really don't remember. My preceptors were really good though. So I didn't really have any complaints about preceptors. I know some people did. Like some people had like bad experiences with their preceptors. You know, there's still that whole like nurse bullying thing. Like people forget where they come from, forget that they were once new nurses, but that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, like my preceptors were all really like good. They all were very helpful. They knew what they knew, and they were very willing to teach. Now let's get into it. I got hired before we graduated, right? Then I say a lot, so I apologize, y'all. say way too much. I'm trying here. I studied. So I'm not even going to say, I'm not going to lie to you. So I was studying for the NCLEX, but I wasn't like, I don't think I knew what to expect. It just was like, I don't know how to study, or like everybody's telling me to do these things. So I used UWorld. Everybody told me to use UWorld, and then I was using the Mark K. No, I don't think I used the Mark K the first time. I think I just used UWorld. And I'm like, okay, like the UWorld was like pretty hard. Like I was not scoring what I felt like was good, but I didn't know. Like everybody was like, oh, like it's fine, it's harder than the test, so blah blah blah. Y'all, I took the NCLEX in July, and failed. I failed my NCLEX the first time, failed it. So I was devastated. Still in the nurse residency program. So basically with the nurse residency program, you're a nurse resident until you get your license, until you pass your test and everything, get your license, and then they move you over to RN. But you're like, basically it's like an orientation. So that's what it is. So you're doing everything that the nurse does, but under your preceptor's license, basically. So you're giving meds and all of these things, hanging IVs, and like doing everything that a nurse does, like obviously with some like restrictions, but I would have the chart under my preceptor's name. But you were doing everything that a nurse does. And so I failed, and I was like, okay, oh, what happens now? Like, you know, like I was so devastated. I don't know, I just felt like whatever. Mind you, when I failed the first time, that week that I took my exam, I found out I was like 5 weeks pregnant. I was like 5 weeks pregnant, and I was so tired. Like that first trimester exhaustion is real. I was so tired, and I was just like struggling. Honestly, I really struggled to get through that test, because you're sitting there for like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm just like, oh my god, I could just fall asleep. I was having cramping. Like when you're in your first trimester, you have like cramping, almost like you're about to come on your period, but you never come on your period. So that was how I knew I was pregnant, because I had that cramping, like, okay, I'm gonna come on my period any day now, but the period just wasn't coming. So that happened, and then like I was so devastated. So then I was kind of discouraged. Like I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know how to study for this. So then I listened to people again, and I was doing the Mark K lectures, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the Mark K lectures or whatever I'm gonna do. But this time I got help from a close family friend of mine, and she let me use her Archer Review, and I really liked Archer Review. Like their questions were simple. Like when I took the exam, to me, UWorld and the actual NCLEX, like everybody swears by it, but me personally, UWorld is way hard. Like the questions are like long and drawn out questions, and the NCLEX is so simple. Like when I took the NCLEX, I was like, it was almost like a shock. Like I'm like, what the heck, this is nothing like the UWorld. And everybody is saying like, oh, UWorld is just like the NCLEX. No, it's not. No, it's not. It might be good for their rationales, but even that, it's just too much information. Like for me, it's just too much information. Like UWorld will have paragraph questions, and the NCLEX will be like 1 sentence, like barely a sentence, like maximum like 2 sentences. Like it's so vague and so just like, what is this? Like that's it. UWorld, it gives you all of these scenarios, and this is going on, and this is going on, that's going on, and they want to know what this is. Like it's just completely different. To me it is. So Archer Review was a lot less like a lot like more vague like the NCLEX was. So I really liked that. Their questions were pretty good, and then also I got the videos to go with the questions. So the videos were very informational. They're like kind of a little bit hard to sit through, is a lot of them, but I didn't watch all of them, and I didn't like the way I did it was, and now that I think about it, that's probably what it was. Like the way I did the questions was like I was trying to just get all of the questions out the way, when I should have been doing the question that I didn't do yet, plus the incorrect ones, like the ones that I got incorrect, because then that way it's like repetitive. So use that Archer Review, and I listened to some Mark K. I failed it again. Yo, I failed my NCLEX twice. I failed my NCLEX 2 times. 2 times. Twice. Like, y'all, I was just like, oh, am I gonna be a nurse? Like, am I meant to be a nurse? Like, is this? Yeah, I was questioning some things. So that happened. Failed the NCLEX using Archer Review, using UWorld, and using Mark K. I could not get into Mark K. I'm sorry for all the people who feel like Mark K is the holy grail. I couldn't get into it. I could not. I would listen to his lectures and I'm just like, they're so like dated and old, but like I don't know, I couldn't do it. Fast forward, I just scratched Mark K off, y'all. So my OBGYN is a nurse midwife, right? And he actually recommended someone, like a tutor, to me, and then because he asked me what my stresses were and I'm like, the NCLEX. But he recommended a tutor to me and she was booked, so I couldn't even use her, but she had like 100% guaranteed pass rate, and I was like, I need that. So, but she was booked, and then she actually said to use Kaplan, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just use Kaplan. But when I say y'all, this time, at this point, I just took my exam. I'm 29 weeks. I was 28 weeks. He's about to walk in the door. I was 28 weeks. 27 weeks? 28 weeks. Can you get in? It interrupted my video. I was 28 weeks, and then but this time was like completely different. Like, I was very relaxed. I wasn't really stressing about it. Like, I was stressing about it, but it wasn't like the first few times that I was stressing about it. Like, I didn't feel pressured. Oh, and with the nurse residency thing, so prior, you all know, if you are not new to my channel, then you know that I was a patient care tech before becoming a nurse resident. So y'all can check out some of my patient care tech videos, but I had to go back to being a patient care tech. Like, basically they were just like, okay, you failed this exam twice, you just gotta go back to being a tech until you pass this exam, and then you can come back. So that's basically what happened. I was so annoyed. I was devastated because I'm just like, this is embarrassing. Like, all of these things were going through my head. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna pass this test, but you know what? I was just like, I'm gonna take it for what it is. Like, I just feel like God does things for reasons, and everything in this world happens for a reason. And I just really this time, like, y'all, I can't even exaggerate or like explain to y'all what I mean, but I literally put all my faith into God, because I'm just like, clearly, I'm like, he brought me this far for a reason. Like, it's no way I stressed and went through nursing school, like, was passing by the skin of my freaking teeth last semester and made it and graduated, for me to got hired as an RN, for me to just not like finish this, like, see this through. Like, it's just no way. So that's how I just had my mindset that way, because yeah. So this time I was just very like calm and just relaxed and just like, you know, not really like stressing about it, because at this point I have other things going on in life, and I had to realize, like, yes, this is like something super major, but this is not my entire life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have clearly, now I'm about to have a baby, I have other focuses. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just not gonna stress, try to relax, and I'm gonna study. Like, I was studying, like, I was doing my questions. I wasn't doing as many questions as I would like to do, but honestly, I'm glad that I didn't, because I feel like I would have overloaded myself again. Like, y'all, I used to study for like 12 hours doing questions, doing like content review, all of that stuff, and that was the second time like I went in with studying, and it did nothing. Like, it did not help me at all. So this time was very different. I just did questions. I didn't beat myself up. Like, I would think about it a lot when I didn't do questions like I was supposed to that day, or didn't stick to my schedule, but I wasn't really like, you know, really beating myself up about it. I was just like, okay, like, we're going to do more questions today, basically. And when I say to y'all, sometimes I would do like 10 questions, 20 questions. Like, I would break it up. Like, I might do like 10 questions 3 times throughout the day, and that be it. And I'm just like, I'm done. Like, because I cannot get over, like, you can literally burn yourself out just doing questions, doing 100 questions, doing 75 questions. Like, you could burn yourself out, and it's just like, don't do that. I would literally do like the max, like sometimes I would do 50 questions. It just depends on how I was feeling at that moment. And I'm not saying this might work for everybody, but for me, I tend to really stress myself out and pile so much onto myself, like mentally, that I'll like burn myself out. So for me, I was just like, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna like do 50 questions if I feel like it today, 10, like. And the thing that I feel like really got me was repeating the questions. So I did the ones that I didn't use, like the questions, the unused questions, and then I selected incorrect questions, so that way I can continue to do the same questions over and over. Mind you, my close family friend, she told me like repeat the questions. I'm telling you, repeat the questions. But the first 2 times I was just doing whatever I didn't use, which I should have just been repeating the questions over and over. So I'm just like, but in my mind I was like, I'm gonna do the ones that I didn't use, and then I'm gonna go back through and then do them all over. I didn't have the energy to do that, so I just did it at the same time, unused and incorrect. And then that way it was so repetitive that like I was actually felt like I was learning. Like I felt like I was learning more this time than I did the last time. Another thing for this time, the 3rd time I took it, I focused on solely how to answer the questions. Like I'm not going to say solely, because I did review like content I feel like I need to brush up on, but majority, and that was like minimum, but like majority of it was how to answer the question. Like the NCLEX, y'all, I cannot stress enough, is how to answer the question, because you got to know, like I'm gonna just tell y'all, I use NCLEX High Yield and his free resources. Like I had like a month to study, so I just used his free resources. He has a YouTube channel, he has podcasts that I would listen to if you need some content review, and I listened to some of the podcast that I feel like I needed to really like brush up on, especially like endocrine, because for some reason that's like my weakest area. But I would brush up on that, and then for the most part I would listen to his podcast, even his Instagram. Like he posts NCLEX style questions, he posts his like method, it's called the method, and then he uses Ask Graph. He would say like you don't necessarily, if the answer choices are one of those, it was one of those 8, then that's the answer. But if you have 2 of them, then you figure out which one was the priority. So at first I was skeptical, because I'm like, why would hemorrhage be at the bottom? Because if somebody's hemorrhaging, like that goes against all the ABCs, like airway, breathing, circulation. That's just how like you were taught in nursing school. But I'm telling you, the more you look at his videos and the way he applies Ask Graph, like you have to look at those videos. It was a savior. It saved me, I'm telling you. So once I watched his videos, and then he does free Zoom sessions, but I could never get on because they cap out at 1,000, and I'm telling you, he's popular, so he gets 1,000 people on his Zooms like soon as, before they even start. I tried to get on there early and they wouldn't even let me on. They said it capped out. So I wasn't able to use his Zoom sessions, but he does post his Zoom sessions, his free Zoom sessions, on his YouTube channel. So that's how I got to those resources. So definitely check him out. But I used that, and then I applied that when using, he uses UWorld, but I already told y'all my experience with UWorld. I use Kaplan, so I just applied, and Kaplan was literally, when I say, exactly like the NCLEX. Yeah, I used NCLEX High Yield. His name is Dr. Z. He got me through. Kaplan was just like the NCLEX, very vague, like their practice questions, very vague. When I took the NCLEX, I swore to you that I saw questions from like Kaplan. Like I was like, I remember this question on Kaplan. And what I did was do the unused questions plus the incorrect questions. So I kept getting questions, the same questions that I would get wrong, I would get them again, and then I would get them right. Yeah, so that right there, NCLEX High Yield. Honestly, I wanted to use Simple Nursing too, because I really do love his videos, but I just felt like I shouldn't focus so much on content. Like I kept telling myself, you know the content. You just went through nursing school. There's no way you're about to remember all this content in 1 month. Like you just went through nursing school, you know the content. So I studied more on like based on how to answer questions. I'm just a bad test taker in general. So like I just I get anxiety, like I overthink the question. I always second guess myself. But this time I felt confident going in. And it's so funny because everybody always asks me, like, when I took the test, like, how did you feel, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I'm more of a person, like, I don't want to jinx myself, because I told myself, like, I'm gonna just leave it in God's hands. So I didn't want to sit and complain about it, like, oh my God, I was like so stressed out, or I was confident. Like, I don't want to jinx myself, because I said, you know what, after this, I'm wiping my hands with it and I'm leaving it in God's hands. So I didn't even want to talk about it, to be honest. And for some reason, after the exam, I felt so like calm, like almost at peace. Like, I don't know, I just didn't even want to talk about it. Like, everybody's like, how did you feel? And I'm just like, I don't know, like, you know, we'll see. Like, I just didn't want to talk about it. Then this time, another thing, I didn't really tell that many people. Just like people that's kind of close to me knew I was taking it, but I didn't tell people. Like, I didn't even tell. My job would be like, when you taking it? I'm like, oh, sometime next week. Like, I didn't tell them exactly when I was taking it, and nobody from my job asked me about it because they had no idea exactly when I was taking it. So that was another thing. But yeah, this time it just was relaxed. I went in and I walked in those doors. First of all, I prayed. Let me tell, I prayed, like, prayed hard for this. Like, I was just like, God, I need you to work something out, because I cannot sit for this exam again. Like, I'm not sitting for this exam again. Sometimes you gotta tell God, like, I need you to help me now. Like, I need you now. I need you by my side. Like, sometimes you gotta just, you know, do that. But I prayed so hard, and I know it sounds cliche, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't have got through it without praying, because it gave me like a peace of mind, like a calmness, like, okay, you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like, I really felt like God was telling me, don't worry about it, I got you. Like, that was for some reason the theme, like, God got you. So yeah, I went in there and I said to myself, you will never come back in here again. You're not taking this exam again, because you were going to pass this time. I went into the bathroom before I sat for my test and I prayed again. Just like, I was really feeling the presence of the Lord in there. So I sat, and then I went into the room. She escorted me to my computer, and I looked at the computer and I said, I'm never coming back here again. I'm wiping my hands clean. And then I sat down and I took that test, y'all. So at first the test was just like, okay, like, I know some of it. Like, I remember seeing this stuff on Kaplan, like, okay, like, these type of questions. And Dr. Z on NCLEX High Yield tells you, like, there's like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but like 5 types of questions, and like prioritization, like all of those questions, he goes over each and every one of them. I'm telling y'all, he literally explained. So every time I got a question, I was just like, okay, this is this type of question. This is a priority question. This is a, they're asking me to use therapeutic responses, like things like that. And I wrote down ask graph. Also on on Kaplan, they use decision tree. I wrote down the decision tree. So ID the topic, assessment versus implementation, decide which one it is, Maslow's hierarchy, physical or psychosocial, physical always top, psychosocial. A was ABCs after that, and then O was outcome. So what are you looking for? Like, well, how is this going to help the patient? And when I say that helped me so much, like the decision tree, so I used ask graph, I used decision tree, and I used who do you first assess. I wrote down like unstable versus stable patient. I wrote down expected versus unexpected finding, chronic versus acute. Like, you know, you have to decide which is going to be the priority. And let me tell you, every single question, I was like looking at that, like, all right, which one? Like, oh, it got me down to like one answer. Like, y'all, it worked. And then another thing from Dr. Z on NCLEX High Yield was the method, which basically is just you read the end of the question, so what they're asking for. So like, it'll say like which patient would be like the priority. So now you know, okay, this is a prioritization question. Now figure out what's going on. So what's going on is just what they're asking, like, oh, this is this and blah blah, which patient will be a priority. Like, so then you know the situation, now you know the type of question it is, and then you then you use ask graph, which one of the 8 is it, you know what I mean? So it really, and it also helped with select auto apply. I used to be afraid of select auto apply, After that, I was not. Like, I was good on select all apply. So that was my experience. Oh, and then of course I was like, after the exam, I think I slept. I don't know. I think I came home. I was tired. I'm always tired after those exams because you sit there for so long and you're at a computer just staring at the computer. I took one break. I don't even think I took 2 breaks. I took 1 break. I might have taken 2 breaks. I don't think I took my second break because for some reason I was a little worried that I was going to run out of time. Like, I don't know why. I had plenty of time left, to be honest. So I didn't take my second break, but I took my first break and I went in the bathroom and prayed because I started getting like, my eyes started getting tired. Like, I started getting tired and I was like tired of answering questions. And at this point I was past the 75, so I knew I was going to go all the way through. I mean, it's possible for it to cut off before you get to the last question, but every single time I took this exam, I got all of the questions. So I already was prepared to answer all of the questions. And I had questions to go, so I was like, I'm getting tired, let me go refocus, let me go pray, let me go regroup. So I literally went into the bathroom and did that. And then I came back and I was fine, and I got through the rest of the questions, and I went all the way to 145 questions. And I walked out when it shut off. I walked out, I was like leaving it all behind, and that was that. And then I didn't do the Pearson VUE trick. The first 2 times I did the Pearson VUE trick, but when I say I was not about to stress myself out this time, like I left all the stress behind. Like, I had 0 stress. Like, I wasn't doing it. So but for some reason, like I said, I had like a sense of peace after the exam. Like, almost like I just felt so calm and just like almost like I was just still in the presence of God, and he was just like reassuring me, like, you're good, like, stop, you even gotta worry. And I literally did not worry. And I think that was the first time in my life that I said, like, okay, I'm gonna give it to God, and actually gave it to God. Like, normally I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give it to God, but I'm still like in the back of my head like, but what's going on? Like, don't get me wrong, I still had thoughts going through my head like, oh my God, like, I don't know, because I don't know. It was hard. The exam went from like, okay, I know this, to this is hard. Like, I had a lot of hard questions, and they say that's a good thing because the harder the exam, that means you're doing good and you're getting the hard questions correct, which means you're going to pass. So, but all the things was going through my head like, okay, I had really hard questions for a long time, but it didn't cut off for me to, like, you know, I guess it wasn't good enough. So then it went back to questions at the end. I was like, okay, I know these again. Like, I remember these from Kaplan. And then I'm like, but that means that I was getting them wrong if I got easy questions. But I don't know if I was getting them wrong or if I just knew what, like, was answering them correct and just knew them and just was confident on them. But I also didn't do that while I was taking the exam. I didn't sit and try to count like how many I'm getting correct, or try to count like, oh, like, I wasn't purposely thinking, okay, these are harder questions, so that means I'm getting it right. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like, I was doing that the first 2 times, and I didn't do it this time. I was just answering the questions. Like, literally, I just was answering the questions. I did think, like, dang, like, the only reason why I knew they were hard is because I'm like, yo, I don't know this question. And then sometimes I would sit on a question for too long, and then I would just answer it and go, because I'm like, I'm taking way too long to answer this question. So that's basically how my third attempt went. And I literally was just like, I have to pass this. Like, I have to. It's my 3rd try. I cannot take this thing 4 times. And if you do got to take it 4 times, then that's what you have to do. Like, you just, listen, you made it this far, do not give up. You cannot give up. If you have to take it 4 or 5 times, then that's what you have to do to get by. And it will come. I'm telling you, it will come. So yeah. But that was my 3rd time. And then my results came. Obviously, it was a holiday weekend. It was the weekend of New Year's. So I knew I wasn't going to get my results right away, which stressed me out a little bit. But I was like, you know what? It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. Then I was at work having a very bad night at work. And then, yeah, I went back to being a PCA and working night shift, which is the worst decision I made, because being pregnant and working night shift, people do it, but it's hard on your body. Night shift in general, not being pregnant is hard on your body. So being pregnant, it's just not not okay. So yeah, I was just like, you know what, let me see if my results are in. And I was able to purchase my quick results, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't look at it, even though I made peace with it. I told y'all I'm human, so I still had that little bit of anxiety. So I gave my boyfriend the password and everything, and he went and looked at it, and then he didn't say anything. So I'm like, I must have failed. Like, and I know him and I know how he is, so I know I'm like, he probably just don't want to tell me, like, through text message. He probably feel bad. All these things that go through my head. I'm like, okay, I failed. Like, let me look at new job. Like, y'all, I was about to quit nursing. I was literally like, let me just look at other jobs. Like, this is not for me. All of this stuff. Like, I'm sitting here telling y'all, like, keep going. But in that moment, I know how it feels when you fail your NCLEX. So, I'm just like, dang, I failed. So he was taking long to respond. I'm like, okay, mind you, I got the email that said that he paid for the quick results. So I'm like, I know you see the results. What are they? So he wasn't telling me. So then I came home, and he had my results on the freaking TV, and it said pass. Y'all, almost passed out. Almost passed out. Like, literally, I was just like, oh my God, like, I was just so happy. Like, I almost couldn't believe that I passed. Like, I was just like, really? Like, is this, that's the first thing I asked him. I'm like, is this real? Like, is this really the results? So, yeah, y'all, I passed on my 3rd attempt of taking my NCLEX. So don't give up. Do not give up. Don't use the same study method that you used the first time that you did not pass the test. Like, try something different. They say, you know, if you want different results, you got to do something different. So that's what I did. Now I'm working on getting back to orientation for RN, and then, I mean, I trained for literally like 5 months as an RN. So I think they're just gonna put me back on orientation for like a few weeks, because I honestly was really getting the hang of it. Like, charting, I pretty much got the hang of charting. Making notes is still like a little bit of a weak area. And then yeah, so I'm back to being RN. I'm waiting on my license number, which needs to hurry up. And your girl is a registered nurse officially. I don't gotta study for the NCLEX. I don't gotta sit for that test again. I'm a RN. So that's pretty much my update, y'all. I mean, the thing is, I go out on leave, maternity leave, in like a month, so I don't know how this is all gonna work. But now y'all are updated, and y'all are going to be back a part of my life, and I can't wait, because this is like a little diary. It's so, I like to like say things out loud. Ooh. So it's nice. He wants to be a part of my video so bad. Y'all are back into my life, and I'm so excited to bring y'all along on this journey. Like, I truly feel like 2022's chapter was closed. Like, that was the last thing I had to do, was pass that test. That chapter is closed. Nursing school, all of that is closed. That's behind us. Now this chapter, this year, 2023, I said to myself, and I said to my boyfriend, and I said to my friends, I'm walking into 2023 being a registered nurse. And this is before I saw my results. You gotta manifest your life that you want. I always have manifested everything in life, and so far it works for me. So I'm gonna continue to do that, because there's a lot of things that I want to do in life. So yeah, this kind of wraps up today's vlog. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. I'm at 1,200 subscribers. Let's get these watch hours in. Let's get these subscribers up. Make sure y'all subscribe and like the video. And yeah, oh, and I wanted to give y'all a little like bump view. Y'all kind of saw in a clips earlier, but let's see if I could get a little bump. This is the bump. I am in my 3rd trimester, and this is all I got for you. Not much. I don't know if this is gonna be a big baby or a little baby, but there y'all go. But there's my update. Thanks for watching.